Hi guys, I'm Ivory and welcome to my channel. So today I'll be doing another 3 looks using one palette, and the palette that I will be using is the EYN 42 Color Brights palette. I believe this retails for $20, maybe $23, and can be found on beautybay.com. I will link it in the description box below. I've been trying to do multiple looks with one palette, and especially a palette like this where there's just so many colors. I think it's necessary to do multiple looks just because, say maybe all the purples are good, but maybe the reds aren't, and you know, just from one look you would never be able to know that. So I did 3 different looks. I did also use this palette. I did a rainbow look, and that was the look that you saw in my giveaway video. So many people were like, oh my god, I hope you recreated this look and did a tutorial, and I'm just like, no. Before we get into the video, be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. I post new videos every single week, and also be sure to follow me on my social media. Everything is _ivorycherry. So before we get into the looks, I just want to note that in my description box I will link the timestamps of when each of the looks will start. So maybe you're only interested in the 3rd look and you only want to see that, I will put the timestamp of when it starts. So the first look is for 4th of July. When this video comes out, the next day will be 4th of July, so I guess you're getting a 4-in-1 in this video. And then as I was editing the footage, I realized that the look also gave me Harley Quinn Suicide Squad vibes. Definitely wasn't intentional, but it happened. It is what it is. So I guess you also get a 5-in-1. So when Halloween comes around, you also have this look to reference if you want to go as Harley Quinn. You're welcome. The second look is green and pink. It gives me watermelon vibes, which is perfect since it's summer. And then the 3rd look is what I'm wearing right now, which is like a orangey, yellowy, pink sunset type of look. I would say all looks are really easy once you break down each of the steps, and I will be giving my opinions and my commentary throughout the video. Okay, so first things first, we gotta prime the eyes. I'm first going in with the ColourPop No Filter Concealer in the shade Medium 22, and then I'm gonna blend out the concealer with a beauty sponge. And then without setting the concealer, I'm going in with a Morphe M173 brush and dipping into my NYX white eyeshadow base and applying that on top of the concealer. And for all 3 looks, I'm going to prime my eyes the exact same way each time. With a clean fluffy brush, I'm going to go into the shade Hot Stuff, and I'm going to apply that as my transition shade. I'm going to concentrate the color on the outer V, and then once most of the color is down, I'm going to bring it inwards. And don't worry so much about getting color on the lid, because I'm going to carve out the lid anyways to apply white. And in the pan, it looks like a reddish orange, but as I blend it out, it kind of turns a little bit pink. So I'm going to layer this a couple times just so that the color is a little bit more true to the pigment in the pan. So on the other eye, I'm going to go in with a clean fluffy brush again, and I'm going to dip into both shades Paradise as well as Stormy Night. Paradise is a little bit too baby blue, and then Stormy Night is way too dark. So I'm going to mix in 2 parts of Paradise and then 1 part Stormy Night. So I literally just dip twice into Paradise and then once into Stormy Night for the perfect color. And once again, I always concentrate it in the outer V first, and then once most of the color is down, then I blend inwards. Okay, so once the transition colors are down, I want to smoke out the outer V. So on the red side, I'm using a Sigma E44 brush, and I'm gonna mix both Head Over Heels and Illicit. Very little of Illicit, because I feel like Head Over Heels is a little bit too close to Hot Stuff. I want a little bit more contrast, so I'm gonna do maybe 3 parts Head Over Heels and then 1 part Illicit. All right, so even 1 part Illicit is too much, so I'm gonna do like 10 parts Head Over Heels and 1 part Illicit. And on the other side, I'm going to go in with a clean fluffy brush and dip into the shade Stormy Night and use that to deepen out the outer V for the blue side. Okay, so next with a Q-tip, I'm going to carve out 2/3 of my lid. This step isn't always necessary for everybody, but I like to have as little shadow as possible on my lid when I apply white, so that the white is as white as it can be versus like pink because it mixes with the red, or a baby blue because it mixed in with the blue. And then with a flat shader brush, once again, I'm going back in with my NYX white eyeshadow base and applying that everywhere that we just cut out with the Q-tip. With an e.l.f. eyeshadow brush, I'm going to go into the shade White Lies, which is just a white matte eyeshadow, and I'm going to set the white primer so that it doesn't crease. And I suggest looking down while you do this so that you don't set down any lines that form when your eye is open. Okay, and then lastly, with a Sigma E06 brush, I'm going in with my Sigma gel eyeliner in the color Wicked, and I'm gonna make a nice big fat wing. I don't know what it is about colorful looks, but whenever I do a colorful look, I just feel like going all out, like big wings, big lashes. I just want to be super extra. But when I do neutral looks, sometimes I do a wing, but they're never like va-va-voom. They're just usually more humble of a wing. But there's something about colorful looks that just make me want to go all out. I'm going to quickly do my base because I want the main focus of this video to be the eyeshadow palettes, but as always and forever, all of the products that I use, even the ones I don't mention, are always in my description box below. Okay, so for the lower lash line, I'm first going in with the Rimmel Soft Kohl eyeliner. This is just in the color White, and I'm gonna add this into my waterline. And then with the eyeliner brush, I'm gonna go into the shade Hello Sunshine, and I'm gonna place that on top of the white eyeliner. For the people that wanna try fun, colorful waterlines, but don't wanna invest in eyeliner pencils, this is a really great trick. If you have the color you want in your waterline in a eyeshadow, just put some white eyeliner as your base and then place the color you want on top, and it will stay put and it will be nice and bright. So now that I know this trick, I don't ever have to buy a colorful eyeliner. Next, with a Morphe M410 brush, I'm gonna tight line the red side with Head Over Heels, and then on the blue side with an e.l.f. eyeliner brush, I'm going to tight line my lower lash line with Stormy Night. And then with Too Clean M506 brush, on the red side, I am going to blend out Head Over Heels with the color Hot Stuff, which was the original transition shade. And on the other side, I'm going to mix again Paradise as well as Stormy Night, but mostly Paradise, and I'm gonna blend out Stormy Night. And then with a pencil brush, I'm gonna go in with the shade Rise and Shine just to tie in the yellow from my waterline into my inner corner. And lastly, I'm gonna apply some mascara. This is the Sigma Sinuosity Lash Mascara. And this is the completed first look. So far I've used 8 shades, and I think everything is great. Everything blends together really well. The white I don't think is super impressive, like it's not extremely opaque, but since I have a white base underneath it, that's why it looks very white. But I would say on its own it's not gonna be super impressive, but that seems to be fairly common in all of the white shadows I have. Like I've never found a white eyeshadow that is like mind-blowing. All in all, I'm really happy with the way that this turned out. I think this is so fun for the 4th of July, and luckily this is the only look that I'm gonna do on this day. I'm gonna film the next 2 looks on a different day, so I get to actually spend my day enjoying this look for once instead of just taking it off and moving on to the next look. But of course you're not gonna see that because I'm gonna edit it to the next look. So anyway, on to the next look. All right, so with a small fluffy brush, I am first going into the shade Granny Smith. And with this color, yes, you guessed it, I am placing it in the outer V at first, and once most of the color is down, then is when I start working it inwards. And this color takes a little bit of time to build up, so I am gonna repeat this process multiple times. And with a fluffy packer brush, I am next going into the shade Daydream, and I'm gonna blend out Granny Smith. I'm gonna take this pretty high up just because I don't have a lot of lid space, and I like to utilize all of my lid space. Some people like to leave a little bit of space. That's not me. I like to cover everything. And then with a Sigma E44 brush, I'm gonna dip into both shades Oasis and Labyrinth. I'm gonna use that color to darken the outer V. And try not to get this color onto the lid because we're gonna carve it out, as you can see on my other eye. And I could have easily started with the dark and then worked my way up to the lighter shade. Sometimes I do that, but I don't know. Today I just didn't. I don't know what to tell you. It's like when you're shopping at the mall and the person asks you if you want your receipt in your hand or in the bag. My answer changes every single time, and I have no idea what motivates me to want it in the bag versus sometimes wanting it in my hand. I don't know. Why can't they just decide for me? Either way, I'm gonna get the receipt, so just Pick one. Next, I'm gonna go in with a Q-tip and some micellar water, and I'm gonna carve out my lid to make a nice sharp cut crease. And then with a flat shader brush, I'm gonna go back in with my white eyeshadow primer. I'm gonna apply that to the blank space on the lid. With a small flat shader brush, I'm gonna go into the shade Sweet Escape, which is a shimmer. It's a duo shift. It's got a little bit of gold and a little bit of pink. I did not even have to wet my brush with these shimmers because they are so pigmented. And I'm gonna apply that to 2/3 of my lid. And then with an e.l.f. smudge brush, I'm gonna go into the shade Lagoon, which is a teal shimmer, but it has a little bit of white glitter in it. And I'm gonna apply that in that kind of awkward space between the pink and the matte dark green. And with this color, I do blend it into the pink, and I kind of go back and forth with the pink and this teal color because I want them to fade nicely together. So lots of blending. Just blend, blend, blend. Just keep blending. Just keep blending. Just keep blending. Blending, blending. What do? We blend. Oh my god, I need a nap. And then the last step for the tops of the eyes, I'm going in with the Morphe M124 brush, and I'm gonna dip into the shade Candid Candy Floss. I'm gonna apply that to the brow bone. You can't really see the color because the green is up so high, but I already did it on the other eye, so I have to follow through and do it on the other eye so that they're symmetrical. It is what it is. Just know that I did do it. This one goes out to all my pale porn lovers out there. Moving on to the lower lash line, once again, I'm using the Rimmel Soft Kohl eyeliner in the color White. And this is gonna be our base because right after the white is down, I'm gonna go into the shade Tutu and I'm gonna place that right on top. With an e.l.f. eyeliner brush, I'm gonna go back into the shades Oasis as well as Labyrinth. I'm gonna use that to tightline my lower lash line. And then to blend that color out, I'm using a Morphe M506 brush and I'm gonna dip into both Granny Smith as well as Daydream. And I'm just gonna blend it on out. After that, just coat the lower lashes with a little bit of mascara. Bada bing, bada boom. Just like that, we are done with look number 2. So just like the last look, I used 8 shades again, but this time all of the shades are different than the first look. And in this look, I used the shimmers versus the other one. I think I just used all mattes. I really love the way the shimmers are applying. I didn't have to use a wet brush at all. I went in with them dry. I didn't have any issues with the mattes. Very often in my outer corner, I get these little patches where matte shadows just don't want to stick or they don't want to blend and it's just kind of patchy in that area. I didn't have that issue. Everything looks great. I can't complain so far. I'm gonna spend the next 10 minutes taking narcissistic photos with this eye look, and then I'm gonna wipe it off, and then we're gonna move on to our last look. Okay, we are down to the last look. I am so antsy to be done with this. I feel like I have senioritis. I just wanna wrap it up and actually edit this so that you guys can see it. With a fluffy packer brush, I'm first going in to the color Make Them Wink, and I'm gonna apply this color evenly from inside to outside. As you saw in the first 2 looks, I was concentrating the color on the outer V and then bringing less color inwards. In this look, I'm making the color consistent throughout the lid. And to make sure that everything is as vibrant as possible, I am first patting down the color, and then once it's down, then I will start blending. Next, with a Morphe M506 brush, I'm mixing both Tangerine Dream as well as Heat Wave, and I'm gonna blend out the pink. And I'm still doing the same thing, keeping the color consistent from inside to outside, and first packing it down before blending it out. And then with a different Morphe M506 brush, I'm gonna go into the shade Hello Sunshine and then blend out the orange. I'm gonna go ahead and carve out my lid. You've already seen me do this 2 times already, so I'm just gonna really speed through this. And then with 3 different flat shader brushes, any will do. From inner corner to outer corner, I'm dipping into the following shades that are all metallics. The first one being Bumblebee, the second one being Orange Soda, and then the third one being Flamingo. Of the 3, Orange Soda by far was the hardest to pack on. I've never had a metallic behave like this, but as I was packing it on, it was not laying down nicely. Some areas were quite sheer, and I tried using a wet brush and the shadow wasn't having it. I tried taking it off and then redoing it. It just didn't want to cooperate. So what I had to do was place down the orange and then put a little bit of Bumblebee on top just to kind of cover it up because it was quite patchy. For the lower lash line, I'm going in once again with my Rimmel Soft Kohl white eyeliner. I'm just going to keep it white this time. And then using the same 3 matte shades, I'm first going in with the e.l.f. eyeliner brush and dipping into the shade Make Them Wink and tightlining my lower lash line. And then using a Morphe M431 brush, I'm going to go into the shade Tangerine Dream as well as Heat Wave and then blend the pink out. And then lastly with a Morphe M506, I'm going to go into the shade Hello Sunshine and blend out the orange. Oh, and with a pencil brush, I'm going into the shade Angel Cake, and I'm gonna apply that to my inner corner as well as my brow bone. And this is the third and final look. Honestly, other than Orange Soda, I really had no problems or difficulties with any of the shades. They all blended well together, they applied really well. Some of them needed multiple layers. That's not necessarily a deal breaker for me unless it's like more than maybe 4 layers. That's a little bit excessive. Overall, I think the pigments are great. There are endless possibilities with this one. So that is it for this video. I hope that you enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and feel free to comment down below what other types of videos you'd like to see from me. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!